So a lot of creators think that their content isn't working because it doesn't look good enough. So they're gonna get a better camera, better lighting, better audio equipment, because good content does matter. But here's the one thing that most creators are missing. Good looking content isn't what's gonna get people to actually trust you. But more on that specifically later on in the video, because right now I do wanna teach you guys how to make your content look actually good. So first things first, let's go ahead and just talk about why aesthetics actually do matter for your personal brand or your social media accounts. So the main reason why you wanna nail your lighting, your editing, your camera gear, if you have the funds to do so, is because you really just want to focus on removing the friction from the viewer to be able to listen to you for a longer time. One of the last things that you want for people who are coming across you for the first time is them feeling like they have to work to extract the information from you. Because if they're starting to do that, it's not gonna come easy to them. And if it's not gonna come easy to them, they're just gonna scroll right by. And that's exactly what we don't want to happen. So that is exactly what aesthetics are for, just to help reduce friction for the viewer to stay longer. Good production doesn't create trust, but it does protect it. So first step to creating good reels is honestly nailing your lighting. Now, there's so many different avenues that you can go down. You can go ahead and just get a Keylight just like me. You guys can get RGB light panels if they're just more efficient for you and your workflow, or you could actually go ahead and just use a window. Like, you don't need a crazy setup to get good looking results. If you know how to like use lights and position yourself in that light, then honestly, you're gonna be doing better than 80% of creators. Quick breakdown of my lighting setup that I have right now, because it's here, why not share it with you guys, is I have a Keylight, link will be down in the description, for the exact model with a softbox. That's what this big box is. It's called a softbox. And then I also have a RGB light stick behind me. This one is from Newer. It is pretty dang good. It's the TL60 RGB. You could do anything you really want with this. You could hang it up. But I just like to put it up here in my background, as I think it looks pretty clean. So between those two products, you can get amazing results. So I highly recommend you invest into your lighting, as I would argue it is the most important part of a content creation studio / recording setup. And also one last thing when it comes to lighting, make sure you're controlling all other lighting in the room. So make sure you just have the lights on that you want on for your actual recording. Otherwise, just turn it off. Like, my entire lighting in my apartment is turned off for that exact reason. I just want to be able to control what I can control. Obviously, I can't control the sliding glass door, but I position my setup in a way to where it doesn't really affect my recording too much. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about audio, because it's just one of two factors that attribute to good content. If you have bad audio, it's gonna instantly just kill your reach, your engagement, your credibility, because people just can't understand what you're saying. Or if you sound horrible talking through like a webcam mic, no one's going to want to listen to that, respectfully. Because if they're sitting there trying to understand what you're saying, chances are they're not going to give you the time of day, and they're just going to scroll on to the next video, which most likely has a creator who has a better mic than you. If your audio sucks, like it's actually terrible, go ahead and upgrade it. Highly recommend. Look into DJI. Rode mic goes. I have those. Look into Shure SM7Bs or any Shure mic that fits your budget. And the last thing for your content studio is you are going to need a camera, whether it's a Pocket Osmo, your iPhone, an actual Sony camera, or whatever brand you like. You're going to need a camera to capture the actual content. Now, your camera does not need to be perfect. I'm using a Sony a7 III, which is considered old nowadays, but it just needs to feel like something you actually want to record on, as consistency with building your brand is the most important thing. So if iPhone is just the best route for you, go ahead and do that. If you like getting better quality footage and you're willing to, learn more about the camera to do so, then go ahead and do that. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter as long as you have your lighting and your audio locked in. The camera should just be fine for whatever you need. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about editing styles that are popping off right now, or not even popping off, but editing styles that are genuinely resonating with the markets or your ideal sort of customers or clients or audience. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my screen so that way you guys can kind of see what's going on. But I do want to preface this. These editing styles aren't going crazy because they're like super fancy, super highly edited, but they're doing well because they feel human and just super like effortless. They don't distract from the person or the idea that they're trying to share. Hi. You want to see the editing styles or what? Let's go ahead and share some editing styles. Okay, so first things first, we have Tom Noski's editing style. Kyle and I believe Cal are the editors for Tom Noski. They do a really good job of just really keeping things mad simple, straight to the point. They make it almost effortless to consume this content. Like, I could literally watch this stuff all day because it's easy on your eyes, etc. You guys can see that Tom has his lighting dialed in. He has his color grade looking amazing. And then he just also has some really simple captions. Nothing too crazy, very simple effects. Like this is just some B-roll he found, added an overlay, etc. Nothing too crazy. Like it's definitely not like those crazy 3D edits that you see a lot of. Like all of these edits essentially are just boosting his story, boosting what he's talking about. So let's go ahead and move on to the next creator. Now this creator right here, Sam, he actually kind of forced me to take a step back and be like, yo, I should probably make a video like this because his editing style, again, is so simple, so easy. Anyone can do it, but it's so effective. So just like this, it's a wide video, his color grade's nice, his lighting's locked in, and all he does is just add some basic captions, and they look really good. Like I highly recommend anyone who's just starting content creation now or trying to tell their story, build their business using social media, start with this formula. Just clean in-camera footage, clean cinematic fonts, and also B-roll. That's all you really need to stand out on social media and just reduce the friction for your viewers. This is another creator. He's actually very creative with his B-roll, with his editing sort of style. Now this is another talking head style. He uses overlays very cleanly. He adds pretty cool B-roll. Like this is pretty fancy, you know. I wouldn't even say it's that fancy, but it's done well, if that makes sense. Then he has like a little camera zoom. It looks good. But at the meat of it, this video is pretty simple and pretty easy to make. And him and all of these other creators understand one thing, which is actually the last point that I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about. Okay, so earlier in the video, I told you that there is one thing that actually builds trust other than just your content's aesthetics. And I'm gonna introduce it by saying this. People don't trust cameras, they trust ideas, they trust clarity, and they trust feeling understood. Like you could have the best setup in the world, but if you're not making people feel understood, if you're not giving them clarity, if you're not solving their problems, then they simply just won't stick around. And all of that combined is your messaging. Messaging isn't just some fancy words that you say in hopes to sound smarter than you really are. Messaging is simply taking your beliefs and putting them in simple terms to give to your audience. Think of it like productizing your beliefs through content. Like when someone watches your reels and thinks, yo, I completely relate to that. Like that makes so much sense. Or, oh my gosh, that changed the way I just thought about how I run my business or how I create content. That right there is what builds the trust and what gets them to like become a fan or follower of yours. Again, it's not the aesthetics. The aesthetics are just one piece to the puzzle. And it's so funny because when I first started creating content, how the video looked to me was the most important part. That's where I put all of my energy to. And then I was making content, but it wasn't growing my page. And I was like, yo, like, why? Like my content looks so good. But then I got to thinking and kind of solving that problem for myself. It's like, oh, I can't just take videos of palm trees and like lines and stuff, which I never took videos of lines. That would be sick. And just expect people to know who I am. Like that doesn't even make sense. So you have to like align your content with what it is that you're trying to do. Stop waiting until everything is perfect in your setup, your camera gear, just your editing skills, whatever it is. Stop waiting. Stop letting that get in the way of you creating content because that does matter to a point. The only thing that matters is your messaging. Good content doesn't start with gear. It starts with you actually having something to say to your audience. So I guess if I had to leave you guys with one sort of thing, just think of it like this. Your ideas build trust and your setup just removes the friction for more people to see your ideas. That's all. So if you're feeling stuck with growing on social media, chances are it's actually not your content or your reels or how they look, your aesthetics. It's probably because you just haven't shared your own thinking yet. So start there. And then once that's dialed, everything else is just gonna be fuel to the fire.